Every time there's a crisis, inflation, recession, trade war, politicians do the same thing. They jump into action pronto. Tariffs, bans, printing money. It's like slapping a band-aid on a leaky faucet. Quick fix, but not always the smartest move. But here's the kicker. What if that need to act is the actual problem? Today, we'll dive into a sneaky psychological glitch called action bias and how it quietly messes up governments, economies, even your personal finances. Speaking of which, I once lost a chunk of my savings on Bitcoin in 2018 by panicking at the worst possible moment. I'll tell you how that fiasco went down and the tricks I wish I'd known later in this video. To see this action bias play out on a much larger scale, let's go back to 2018. The US government launches a trade war with China. Tariffs shoot up on steel, aluminum, electronics, machinery, the works. The big public message: we're taking action, we're protecting American workers. Cue the triumphant music, confetti cannons, and a nice PR photo op. But what actually happened? Prices on everyday goods, washing machines, cars, tech, ballooned like they just ate a 10-course feast. US manufacturing didn't get its big comeback. If anything, it slowed down. Studies later found these tariffs cost US consumers $1.4 billion per month. And no, there wasn't a cancel subscription button. We were told this would help, but the data told a different story. Driven by the need to be seen as taking action to protect American workers, policymakers implemented tariffs that, in reality, led to higher costs for consumers and didn't deliver the promised manufacturing boom. It's not just tariffs. In 2020, central banks around the world, including the US Federal Reserve, basically made it rain money, short-term, cool, free cash. Then 2021 and 2022 rolled around, and inflation spiked like it just chugged 3 energy drinks. Prices rose faster than wages. No random fluke, just the long-term cost of fast action under pressure. These decisions are framed as bold leadership, but often they're just fear dressed up as decisiveness. We must do something is way sexier than we should carefully wait and gather more data. Facing the economic uncertainty of the pandemic, the impulse to do something quickly led central banks to inject massive amounts of money, contributing to the later surge in inflation that squeezed everyone's wallets. Even after we saw these outcomes, we didn't learn. It's like watching a horror movie where the characters keep making the same dumb mistakes. By 2025, I've got a major case of deja vu. We barely recovered from the COVID-flation fiasco, only to get smacked with make inflation great again tariffs. Yes, that's apparently a thing now, right? You'd think we'd learn our lesson after the last tariff tango, but nope. So why do policymakers keep charging ahead when the risks are as obvious as the jump scare in a low-budget horror flick? This is where psychology waves its little neon flag. There's a mental reflex called action bias, our tendency to do something, anything, rather than do nothing, especially under pressure, even if that action is untested, or, possibly a giant mistake. Soccer goalies are a perfect example. Statistically, the best move in a penalty kick is often to stand still in the center, but they rarely do. Why? Because standing still feels wrong. Politicians have that same instinct. Doing nothing looks weak, no dramatic shots of them signing important-looking papers, so they act with a capital A. And let's be real, we can be just as guilty. Remember that chunk of my savings I lost on Bitcoin in 2018? Prices dipped, my brain screamed, act now or lose everything, so I panic sold all of it just before it bounced back. I might as well have tossed my wallet into the ocean. Why did I do it? Because doing something felt safer than waiting. That's action bias in a nutshell. Just like policymakers sometimes jump to quick fixes with tariffs or monetary policy, we can also fall victim to this urge to act without thinking. So how do we avoid slamming that giant panic button in our own lives? Here are 3 quick checks. Pause, then ponder. Give yourself a 24-hour cooldown before making any big move, whether it's financial, political, or personal. A tiny delay can stop an emotional meltdown from becoming a real-world meltdown. Think of it as hitting the snooze button on your impulsive decisions. Check the alternatives. Ask what happens if you don't act, or if you wait, or consult another option. Sometimes inaction is actually the best move, especially when your gut is screaming in all caps. It's like realizing you don't have to buy that limited edition gadget just because it's flashing in front of you. Phone a friend. A short conversation with someone you trust can bring you back from the ledge. Sometimes you need another human to say, dude, chill. They can be your voice of reason when your own brain is playing a high-stakes game of emotional poker. Action bias isn't some tiny quirk. It shapes political policies, financial markets, and your personal choices. So the next time you feel that rush to do something right now, or a leader promises a lightning-fast fix, take a deep breath and ask, is this genuine courage or just the illusion of control?